Hello guys, Showy here playing a new game called Doki Literature Club, and the first thing I encounter is this message. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. I have no idea what is expecting me. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. For content warnings, please visit... Oh no, were those the trigger warnings? By playing Doki Literature Club, you agree that you are at least 13 years of age, and you consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. Sure, let's do it. Yeah, same that they said, not suitable for children. That's cutesy. Music. Let's go. Yeah, there you go. Sound. Text speed. Auto forward time. No idea. Full screen. No, window is fine. Save. Nope. Return. Okay, let's go like that. Let us start. Enter your name. Showy. Hey, says someone. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Very anime-like. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for a long time. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up with me. Okay, she looks like that type of girl. Like the very clumsy, very hyper, very cutesy moe type. Anyway, Sayori says, I overslept again. No shit, Sayori. But I caught you this time. Maybe, say I, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me, after all, says Sayori. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with students making their daily commute. By the way, Showy, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Aw, that's not true, says Sayori. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did. In one of our many conversations where I dismissingly go along with whatever she's going on about. Yep. Sayori likes to worry a little bit too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Haha, says Sayori. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a need in a few years because you are not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. What are you, my mom? Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind a little, at least a little, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. What is this? History, auto, save, load, history. I'm gonna click it later. Now, the school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello, says Sayori. Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I caught you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club, says you. Says me. Wait, what am I talking about? I say that, yes. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, says Sayori. So I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you can come to my club. Sayori? Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring a new member. Oh damn. Am I gonna be the only man there and I will be surrounded by this harem? And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Hehehe. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she is so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh, like, fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go, says Sayori. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Nice. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone! The new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the classroom. Welcome to the literature club, says girl 1. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy, says girl 2. Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Showy! What a nice surprise, says girl 3. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls! What are you looking at? Says girl 2. If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki, says girl 1. Huh? The girl with a sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. Oh, she's a total tsundere. You can just ignore her when she gets moody, says Sayori. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that, says Yuri. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you, so say I. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right, says Monika. It's great to see you again, Showy. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Showy, says Sayori. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monika. Oh no! Are we gonna start with the decisions now? Damn! Okay, I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them, I'll get them, says Natsuki. Sorry, I got a little too excited, says Sayori. Then how about I make some tea as well, says Yuri. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri talk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Oh, I do not get to... I thought I would get to choose at least. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Says Natsuki. Ta-da! Wow! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make the ears. So cute, says Sayori. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki, says Monika. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one, says Natsuki. Sayori grabs one, then Monika, I follow. It's delicious, says Sayori. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Yeah, she's that kind of cute. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good, I say. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Look at her, total tsundere. Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? I thought you technically did. Sayori said... Well, maybe. But not for you, you know, you, dummy. Alright, alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down a teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom, say I. Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission, says Yuri. After all, doesn't that hot cup of tea help to enjoy a good book? I guess, say I. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you, says Monica. Oh, that's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I don't think she's insulted, I think like she's more embarrassed than anything. I meant that, you know... I believe you, say I. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad, says Yuri. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then she smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed, says Monica. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised, say I. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member of any major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, she says. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Oh, that's something very nice. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader, says Sayori. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised that there aren't more people in this club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way, says Monica. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, much more important. I am confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Says Monica. Yeah, says Sayori. We'll do our best, says Yuri. You know it, says Natsuki. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Showy, what kind of things do you like to read? Says Yuri. Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Can I just say manga? Yes, that is exactly what I was about to say. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess, says Yuri. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so conserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way of her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things, says Yuri. The stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Oh, I read a horror book once. I desperately grabbed something I can relate to at minimum level. Yeah, he read a Stephen King book at one point in his life. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri, says Monica. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that, says Yuri, but I have a dark inside. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror, says Natsuki. Why is that, says Yuri. Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about good things, don't you, Natsuki? What? Says Natsuki. What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. Damn. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud, is it something gonna be like... The fluffy white bunny that ate the cake. And give it back, she says. Fine, fine. God damn. They never told us what the point was. So, your cupcakes, your poems, says Sayori. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute, says Natsuki. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes, she says. Why do you care? I think that's impressive, say I. Why don't you share them sometime? No, she says. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. A not very confident writer yet, huh? I understand how Natsuki feels, says Yuri. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Says Monica. Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Oh no. I guess it's the same for Yuri, says... well, I say. Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems, says Sayori. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, says Monica. Is she gonna share something? I have an idea, everyone. Huh? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share with each other. That way, everyone is even. Ah. Huh. Yeah, let's do it, says Sayori. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little bit more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Showy? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. There's still one problem, I say. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind this entire time. I never said I would join this club. Whoa, look at them. Look at the daunt that just hit Monica. Look at her eyes. She's about to cry. But the game will defy expectations. She will very cheerfully say that you already joined and that your soul is hers. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at and... I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. No. But, says Monica. I'm sorry, I thought, says Yuri. Huh. Shall we? You all... I am defenseless against these girls. Defenseless! How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls? Right. Okay, I have decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy, says Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment, says Yuri. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed, says Natsuki. Then that makes it official, says Monica. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone, says Monica. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Showy, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Hehehe. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Showy, says Sayori. Since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us departed the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Am I gonna write something? Oh, wait. So I actually have to write in this game. That's quite interesting. Let's see. Pick words you think your favorite club member would like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Oh. That is a good thing to say, but I'm gonna pick what I think is better for me. So let's see with whom the game matches me. Suicide, Aura, Parfait, Boop, I don't know, Heaven Sent. Dazzle. Portrait. Extraordinary. Chocolate. After image. Intellectual. Effulgent. Nightgown. Entropy. Bubbles. Wrath. Marshmallow. Covet. Vertigo. Uncanny. What was it me, or at the end I selected all words that Yuri would want? Hi again, Showy, says Monica. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Don't worry, I say. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Showy, says Yuri. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack, says Natsuki. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, says Monica, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the classroom. In the clubroom. Huh. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature, says Natsuki. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry guys, says Sayori. Showy always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable, says Yuri. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your home on fire once. That's so, You two are really good friends, aren't you? Says Yuri. I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Showy can become good friends too, says Sayori. Sayori? Huh? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Okay, she's the one who liked my poem, apparently. Me? Not really. Don't be shy, says Sayori. It's really nothing, says Yuri. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. If that is so, yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright, well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you want. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you! I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. You can read it at your own pace, says she. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like it's the same book she lent to me. Oh! More than that, she seems to be on the first page. Ah. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. Now that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, she says. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Uh-huh. I wanted to read it, some of it. Not for any particular reason. Yeah, of course you didn't want to discuss it with me. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Oh, so basically you bought another copy for me. It was a gift, more than anything. Well, I stopped by at the bookstore yesterday. Yes, exactly. It is a bigger gesture that you intended it to be, or that you made it out to be, I guess. Oh, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Yes. Oh, I see. There is something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear, she says. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is it so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, she says. I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Ahahaha, says Yuri. Yuri gently giggles, all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Showy? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so, says she. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, she says, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they can believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they are made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. Oh, I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize, I say. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then, says Yuri. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to the other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry, says I. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's true. In fact, I say, I might as well get started reading it, right? Oh, you don't have to, she says. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Ah, yeah, she says. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright, she says. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. And it's not particularly bad. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she is not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, she says. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? Do I? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit... Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess this makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we are huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. Yeah, I can see why. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? She says. To turn the page. Oh, sorry. I think I got a little bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. It's okay, she says. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue to read. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Like, what is this type of description of a love story? Hey Yuri, I say. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me a little bit of you. Oh, you think so? She says. How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. Wait a second. Perhaps we haven't been told the name of the author of this book. Perhaps it was written by Yuri. That would be an interesting plot development. But she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they are kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Showy, she says, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything, I say. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. Oh, what are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone, says Monica. I think it's time to share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? Says Monica. You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. Huh? In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be fun to read with you after it picks up a little bit, you know? That's a good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Says Monica. Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, says Monica, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait, says Sayori. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically put out their poems. Sayori's on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf thrown from a spiral notebook. Yeah, of course it is. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Monica, of course. Sorry, Yuri, not Monica. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional, she says. What was that? Did I say it out loud? She says. Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. Huh? You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? She says. Ahahaha. Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imaginary and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant... Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. Okay? So... Wait, were you able to tell that I'm not experienced? But the first thing you said is that I am. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from their topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I am not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? I say. Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles grimly, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the presence but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. That is quite interesting. Click outside the poem area to continue. I'm sorry I have so much terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Oh, shut up! Well, I just don't read a script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief, she says. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short, she says. I usually write longer poems. Not at all, I say. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing your non-mild literature. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Hoo. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Showy. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poems often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. I didn't think it was about a ghost. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought about that. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Showy. Me too. Now then, who should I choose next? I think I'm gonna leave Monica for the ending. I'm gonna go with Sayori. This is a good poem, Showy, she says. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why I'm impressed. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room, huh? Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Showy. Deep down, you are not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things, like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I am not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, she says. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then, I say. Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Hehehe, we'll see about that. Okay. This is Sayori's poem. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. It has its own kind of charm, you know? Like, you can feel the reality of that, the simple-mindedness of a schoolgirl who has a very simple life and is happy because of simple things in life. Completely the opposite of Yuri. I am so glad that I did them in sequence. Sayori, I say. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night, she says. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean, she says. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Nice. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there is no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. Hehehe. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I will not forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Now, Natsuki. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you, she says. She's not pleased. She's not pleased at all. That's a little blunt, I say. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke my emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can sing. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can fry. Sorry, can try, not fry. I mean, they can fry, and they can fry all of the animals in this list. But that was not the point of the poem. But that's about it. Oh. So we cannot fly. I see. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. I do not like it. What? Just be honest. I liked Yuri's and Sayuri's much better than this. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. That's so cute! They do not take me seriously when I talk about how eagles fly and crickets can leap. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. It hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. You're talking like you have no right to talk about technique or anything in writing. That was a horrible poem and you should be ashamed. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. Of course it was on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I am glad you learned something. didn't expect that from the youngsters. One of here, did you? Wait, what? Okay, you're the youngstest. Okay, I get it. Yeah, guess not. I decide to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem next? There is only one remaining. Let's go. Hi Showy, says Monika. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. Yeah. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, she says, wanna share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ahahaha, she says. Don't worry, Showy. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Also, why did the game not give me Monika as an option to write a poem that she would like? She says. Great job, Showy. I was going, oh, in my head while I read it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. Oh, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Yes, I know. Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayuri, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively. Both allowing people to get something out of it just by feeling, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing, says Monika. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot, I say. It could take a little while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay, she says. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll probably always help you find what suits you for the most. So don't force yourself to write the way anyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Of course I have to worry, because the game clearly stated that I had to impress one of them. So yeah, they really try to make me care about them. Ahaha. Ahaha. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Oh damn, this is longer than the others. Let's see. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction of the sparkle protrudes. A nosy neighbor, an angry boyfriend, I'll never know. It wasn't I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, that is such a horrible line. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So... is this a glory hole or something? So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I am not really the right person to ask for feedback. Ha ha ha, it's okay, she says. Yeah, that kind of a style has gone pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. And epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. And another way to think about this is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening! That was a bit random, like she was some sort of TV presentator. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read them in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Yes, this is awesome. This is like, what the hell is this? Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What is this language? Says Natsuki. Huh? Did you say something? It's nothing, says Natsuki. Natsuki dismissively turns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy, says Natsuki. Thanks. Yours is cute, says Yuri. Cute, says Natsuki. Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that, says Yuri. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. Huh? If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. and Showy did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, says Yuri. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I do not expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Showy liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Huh? That's not what I... you just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Showy appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more, says Natsuki. Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Nice. Ooh. Says Sayori. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? Says Natsuki. I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Showy started showing up. Why are you looking at her boobs? And did they actually grow? Natsuki, says Yuri. Natsuki, that's a little... Monika, as the president of the club, starts intervening. This doesn't involve you, they say. I don't like fighting guys, says Sayori. Sayori, if Monika couldn't do anything, you're gonna be put down so fast. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Showy, says Yuri. She's trying to make me look bad. That's not true, says Natsuki. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more efficient, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out of to the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Showy. Wait, says Yuri. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning them most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Showy? Am I gonna be forced to make a decision now? Well... How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Okay, so... let's think about this for a minute. If I go with Natsuki, I am undermining myself because I already am establishing a relationship with Yuri. If I go with Yuri, Natsuki will hate me, and there goes that possibility, and I'm continuing with, like, I'm fully committed in that case. If I go with Help Me Sayori, even though I am impartial to Natsuki and Yuri, I am putting points in Sayori that way. You know what? For the sake of this, I guess I chose Yuri. That's it. This is the Yuri playthrough. Natsuki, you're right, I like your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all, says Natsuki. Yuri wouldn't take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see, says Yuri. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? Says Natsuki. That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough, says Monika, taking charge as president of the club after leaving me in hot water with these two. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped. At this point being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Says Sayori. Sometimes, when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? Says Natsuki. I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Oh no! Poor thing! Natsuki, says Sayori. She really didn't need to do that, says Monika. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Sigh. Everything alright? I say. I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that, says Yuri. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone have not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well? Alright, I believe you. Thanks, Showy, you are too kind. I am thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing, says Yuri. That one thing that Natsuki said. About, you know, I would never do anything so shameful. So basically what she's telling me is they are all natural. All. What thing did Natsuki say? I say. Never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone, says Monika. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun, says Sayori. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly, says Natsuki. Showy, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome, says Monika. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. Yeah, I mean, we are using literature to impress girls. That is very impressive in itself, to be honest. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Showy, says Sayori. Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Ihihihi. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori? About what happened earlier? What do you mean? She says. You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? Oh, no. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they are both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Showy, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Ihihihi. Everything is going to be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on onto the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, says Sayori. Yeah, let's do this. Now then, let's write the poem for tomorrow. Oh, look. Pink. Lazy. Oh no, they do not jump when I do this. So, pink. Adventure. Waterfall. Uncanny. Inferno. Fluffy. Tenacious. Whisper. Passion. Boop. I don't know what boop is. Thrill. Nightgown. Misfortune. Aura. Heaven sent. Puppy. Crimson. Suicide. Unending poof. There you go. Another day passes, and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hey Showy, says Sayori. Hey Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. Ehehehe. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you, anyway. Speaking of which, says Sayori, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Eh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we have to take a look at your purse, Sayori? Oh, what's going on here? Why that, all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieved her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then, she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. Ahahaha, she says. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair, she says. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have brought a snack before coming to the club room. So, either you are not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to inconveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. So, that only leaves the one option. Awa, says Sayori. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Lovely reasoning, guy. It is weird that in the game the guy has my name because I cannot talk to him. It's weird. I shouldn't have used my name. I should have named him Skippy or something. Ahaha, says Yuri. Yuri suddenly giggles. Huh? I didn't notice she was listening in. Her face is in her book as always. Ah, she says. I wasn't listening or anything. I was just something in my book. Yuri, says Sayori. Tell Showy to let me borrow some money. That's... Well, first of all, I didn't say you couldn't borrow it. I just, like, said how you were tricking me. Don't get me involved in that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book. Says Sayori. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side for you. There's no way you could think that. You were right though, says Sayori. I did something bad and now I have to accept the revolution. The revolution? Retribution. Oh yeah, there. That. Still, coming from you, Sayori, I guess that's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Ehehe, says Sayori. Don't let her fool you, I say. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But, says Sayori, you wouldn't have to come if you weren't for the cupcakes. You wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes, okay. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. I didn't come just for the cupcakes, okay? Ehehe, says Sayori. Pow! It really looks like someone slapped her butt. Kia, says Sayori. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori's face and tumbles onto the desk. What? Something smacks Sayori in the face. Is it a cupcake? I bet Natsuki threw a cupcake at her. Oh. What was... Huh? A cookie! Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked, says Yuri. Ahahaha, says Natsuki. I was just gonna give it to you. But then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction though. Ahahaha. Natsuki, it's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Yeah, she didn't hug Natsuki, she just hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good, she says. Oomph. Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. Ihihi, says Natsuki. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Oh, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Yeah, she's definitely a choosing beggar. Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me, says Sayori. Hihihihi. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Oh jeez, says Natsuki. I get it. Cookie is still in hand. Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayori throws away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes, says Natsuki. Monika, can you tell Sayori? Huh? Natsuki glances around. Monika isn't in the club room. Where's Monika anyway? Good question, says Yuri. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me, says Sayori. Yeah, I haven't either, I say. That's a bit unusual, says Yuri. I hope she's okay, says Sayori. Of course she's okay, says Natsuki. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. I don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised, says Yuri. Oh, they are saying that she has a boyfriend now. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined, says Yuri. Oh, so such self-deprecation, man. That's true, says Sayori. Excuse me, says Natsuki. Suddenly, the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry, says Monika. Oh, there you are. I didn't mean to be late, says Monika. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Says Sayori. Monika chose the club over her boyfriend after all. So it is canon already that Monika has a boyfriend. It was just like that, like 2 comments and it is canon. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? Says Monika. What on earth are you talking about? Monika quizzingly glances at me. Never mind that, I say. What held you up, anyway? Well, my last period today was a study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense though, says Natsuki. You would have heard the bell ring, at least. I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano. Piano? Says Yuri. I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monika. I don't really. I kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool, says Sayori. You should play something for us, Monika. Monika looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay, says Sayori. That sounds cool, I say. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Showy. Monika smiles sweetly and goes to the middle of the screen. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Oh, don't worry, says Monika. I've been practicing a whole lot recently. And I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see, I say. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So, I didn't miss anything, did I? You just missed how you had a boyfriend now. Like, you have a boyfriend now. Not really. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri is back to her book and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. What is Natsuki doing in the closet? Hey Yuri, I say. I suddenly notice that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No, she says. I was kind of waiting for you. Oh, if that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind of with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? She says. Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll go to get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not, she says. Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? She says Monica. Yuri was going to make some tea, so... I suddenly realize how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Oh, okay, she says. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's... Monica, please mind your own business for once. Damn. Yuri really is into me. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Showy in club activities? That was such a good response. Like, very well done, Yuri. My mouth gasps. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that, says Monica. Says Yuri. Then let's go, shall we? Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Damn. Once in the hallway, she suddenly put her forehead against the wall. I totally saw that happening. I spoke without thinking, she says. How could I say something like that? Yuri, I say. Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri, I say. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but... It's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Showy, says Yuri. How come even when I do something bad, you're always being nice to me? Because... because... Nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions, and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. Oh, says Yuri. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say, says Yuri. Yuri lifts her head. Showy, I really like being friends with you. Ah ha 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 ha, I say. Thanks, Yuri. Yeah, like a sociopath. I just go like, ah ha 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 ha. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that. And I'm doing my best to help Yuri with feel better. Anyway, I say. Yeah? Shall we go? Yes. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Showy, do you like oolong tea? Oh yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course, she says. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed, says Yuri. Yeah, perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now, I say. Is that so? I was letting it show, she says. And you noticed. I was doing it a bit of thinking. And I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway. Oh, that's great, Yuri, I say. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Showy, she says. It's very endearing. That's... Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watched Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Showy, I have another request, she says. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why is that? I say. It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at the desk. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize, I say. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I say. I wonder why that is. It's most likely because your posture, right? Yes. Probably it's because of her big boobs. Always hunched over like that while reading. Yes, she says. I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough, I say. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. Oh, I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of a small chocolate candy that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with tea. Yuri and I sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well, says Yuri. Huh? Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup, says Yuri. Yuri hands me my teacup. Oh, for a second I thought that I was knocking the teacup over or something. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally managed to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumbled with the chocolate wrapper. Oh, sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. Oh, says Yuri. That's okay, I won't take any. Are you sure? I say. Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. Oh, so she really cares about books. Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize, she says. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Am I gonna feed her? Am I gonna feed chocolate into her mouth? Is that what's gonna happen? Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. In that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into her mouth. Sorry, was that too loud? I think I just said it a bit too loud. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. Oh no, wait. I pop it into my mouth. Or her mouth. Can I go back? God damn. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips, as if this situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. So I was wrong. I didn't pop it into her mouth, I pop it into my mouth. Oh well. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. That's cute. Huh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Showy? Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. That's... Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do. Right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but... Yeah, that's all it was. Yeah, she says. Then... You don't need to stop or anything. I see, I say. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book. But I can tell, just by her expression, that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers. But this time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breasts. Sorry, of her breasts, yeah. I raise my arm. Ah, she says. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. But it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone, says Monica. Ooh-ah, I say. That is a weird expression, you know. She says something and I go like, ooh-ah. Ah, says Yuri. Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems, says Monica. Showy, you can help Yuri to put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. Says Yuri. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Yeah, remember the time when I put a chocolate in your mouth? Oh no, don't bring that up. It's making me all blushy. Who should I show my poem to first? Let's just do the longest storyline first. Let's see what you've written for today, says Yuri. Okay, so I don't know if this is the kind of poem that she will like, because probably it has a lot of cute words, so it's mostly for Natsuki. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Showy? This one might be even better than yesterday's. Really? How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why, I say. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this, she says. Used to what? I say. I don't know. It's fine, take your time, I reassure her. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, she says. Just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me, she says. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, I say. Do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. Oh, wait, what? Excuse me? Okay, this poem is called The Raccoon. Let me get a bit of water before reading it. Okay, let's go. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of night, while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scattering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom, the bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its face and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife, the very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I am merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feel myself again. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. That doesn't sound very poetic to me. I don't know. Call me like a old school. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that, I say. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right, she says. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sort of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself, I say. Well, because they're embarrassing. And people would make fun of me, she says. Don't you have anything like that, Showy? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has a little something like that, she says. The best we can do is respect each other in our individualities. Even if it's difficult sometimes, and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Showy. That's exaggerating a little bit, I say. It's just how I feel, she says. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing. But now, I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing, really, I say. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Who should I show my poem to next? Let's go... Natsuki. Well, it's not really any worse than the last one. But I can't really say it's any better either. Phew. Phew what, she says. Well, anything that isn't a train wreck, I'll take as a win, I say. And I get the feeling you're probably the most critical. Hey, what makes you... Wait. Maybe that was a compliment. She... See? I just keep her confused so she doesn't know if I'm complimenting her. That's the way to keep her like down. Because she's a little bit emotional. Glad to see someone recognizes my experience. Well then, keep practicing and maybe you'll be as good as me someday. That's, something tells me Natsuki completely missed the point. Come to think of it, she says, this kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. Really? You think so? Yeah, well, I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you might be on the same wavelength. But you never really struck me as her type. Sayori has a type all of a sudden? I say. I don't know, but honestly, how can someone so fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? Says Natsuki. It's like she's dragging around a dead weight. That was a little unnecessary. Yeah, that was incredibly mean. But think of it this way, I say. If it weren't for me, she would probably just fly away, like letting go of a balloon. You could say we take care of each other. Wait, what? Holy moly. You could say we each take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it, says Natsuki. Oh yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem. Here. Oh, that's way longer than yesterday's. Let me have a bit of water before this. Okay then, this poem is called Amy Likes Spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of her words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time, I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about the spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it in private. It doesn't matter if she doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers. And I'm gonna tell everyone. That seems so petty. That seems like, I don't know. She can annihilate all the spider lovers. Like, dude, this is very Nazi style, you know? I don't know. Amy, you know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes Jews. Icry, wriggly, hairy, ugly Jews. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing voice, whatever, but she likes Jews. And that's why I'm not friends with her. And the Jew lovers, and like, dude, the spiders are the new, I don't know, minority that is hurt in this game. Not bad, right? She says. It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short, she says. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not, I say. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with such simple analogies. Oh no, she's gonna go full Nazi on me! And it helps people realize how stupid they're being. Like, anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Yes? Do you know people like that? I ask. Of course, it's about how everyone thinks my... That doesn't matter. It can be about anything, she says. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Sometimes that you're afraid if people find out, something that you're afraid people will find out, they'd make fun of you or think less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes, as long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy. I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. That's funny. Yuri wrote about something similar today. Did you say Yuri? Yeah. She said her point was about an unusual hobby of hers. I didn't really get it, but she said something similar to you. That people shouldn't make each other feel insecure about those things. Really? Says Natsuki. Well, I mean, Yuri's pretty weird, so I wouldn't doubt that she has some weird hobbies. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's not like I would judge her or anything. Natsuki has trouble finding words. I guess I should try not to be so mean to her. If she feels insecure about her weird behaviors and stuff. I mean, I always hate people who make me feel insecure. And Yuri made me feel insecure yesterday. But the way you put it, it sounds like she's learned her lesson. Well, I would say so, I say. Even if her writing style is quite different, I'm sure she'll appreciate the message in your poem. It's what I do best, after all. Damn, you are so full of yourself, Natsuki. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Like, conveying emotions is important. But I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm gonna write a good one for tomorrow too, so look forward to it. Now let's do Sayori. Oh, says Sayori. I like this one, Showy. It has some nice feelings in it. Oh, I'm glad, I say. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. You are so useless as a critic. Hehehehe. That's not very helpful, you know, I say. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, she says. But that's why I just go with my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is an important part of the whole thing. Yeah, maybe, I say. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, she says. Me neither. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? You want to write something for me? Excuse me? Is that what he said? That's so sweet. Yeah, right, I say. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever, I say. Anyway, let's see, she says. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word for looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad, I say. I can see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, she says, I like happy the most. But sometimes, when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give the rain cloud a little hug and make a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. Is it? She says. Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Showy. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? Sure. Oh, are poems gonna get this long? I mean, I like them, but if they keep that proportionate of longer every day, I'm gonna be reading like novels by the third or fourth day. Just a second. This poem is called Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a Doki jar. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and plug one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe. And I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thought in bottles, all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends, each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way, down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night more dreams, friend after friend more bottles, deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies, digging and digging, scraping and scraping. Okay, this is a little bit gross of you digging into your skull and scraping like dreams out of it. But let's continue. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done. I open up and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thought in shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something. But all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Okay, that was interesting. Holy crap, say I. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did, she says. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was gonna write the best poem ever? Yeah, but I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monika taught me a whole lot, says Sayori. And I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that, I say. It's almost kind of creepy. Oh no. Creepy? She says. Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful, I say. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Oh, thanks, she says. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic, she says. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I say. I hope you keep it up. Yeah! Writing's the best! I'm gonna keep writing till I die! Don't get ahead of yourself, I say. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this one is one of those times. But seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Okay, last one, Monika. Hi again, Showy, she says. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy you're applying yourself, she says. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know, she says. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monika. Alright, she says. This one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny she's talented. Yeah, totally, says Monika. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's really a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too, I say. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside her. Uh-huh, says Monika. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way, I say. Oh, no, of course not, she says. I just meant that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that. You must be pretty into her. You completely misunderstood. Calm down, I'm kidding, she says. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Whoa, big information you just dropped on me. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monika kind of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but... Well, there's not really anything wrong with that, I say. Yeah, 2D over 3D anytime. Well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look, I say. Save me. Whoa. Wait a second. Now, save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating, wave fonts, squeaking, screeching, piercing, scene, causing, tangent. Oh, like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust, an endless poem of meaningless. Load me. That's horrible! Why does she write so bad? All the others are very good. And she's the president of the club. You're such a poser. It's even more abstract than the last one, huh? Ahahaha, she says. I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just a kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Yeah, I noticed. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines, really short, makes it feel like they are trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's like hard for me to tell what's about though. Ahaha, she says. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression or a feeling, or a conversation with a reader. So putting it that way, every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Dude, you have no right to give me writing tips. You are horrible. You should feel bad about this. Natsuki did a much better job than you this time. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. Sure. Let's save here. And here. There you go. Thank you for the tip, that was very good actually. I am sorry for putting you down like that, but your writing is like very good. Your writing advice, which has nothing to do with writing and a lot to do with playing this game. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this a tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? Yes, you broke immersion incredibly harder. Ahahaha, she says. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, everyone, says Monica. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Oh, another club activity, huh? Is this about the festival, says Natsuki. Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival, says Natsuki. It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well, says Yuri. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much, says Monica. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters, and I've been designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, says Natsuki. But that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Oh, sorry, says Monica. I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. So, we're a literature club. What are we gonna perform? Performing? Says Natsuki. Monica? Yeah, we're going to be a poetry performance. Nice, that is very good because you already have the poems. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part, we are also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori is putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Ihihihi, says Sayori. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? Says Natsuki. You didn't already start putting those posters up, did ya? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Says Monica. Well, no, says Natsuki. It's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know. There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki, says Yuri. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, says Sayori. No, Sayori, says Monika. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple of days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. So, I'm sorry. But, says Monika, I still think we should give it our best. We're the ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on one good If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, says Sayori. It's about expressing your feelings. Being intimate with yourself. Finding horizons. And having fun. That's right, says Monika. And it's those reasons that we are all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find some same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do, says Monika. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree, I say. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monika have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we could do is help them out a bit. Well, maybe, says Natsuki, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have an argument left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright, says Sayori. Phew, says Monika. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice, she says. Oh, that's everyone, says Sayori. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh, says Monika. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way, says Natsuki. Monika? This is too sudden, says Yuri. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no, says Yuri. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Says Sayori. Yeah, of course. Now let's see. Monika flips through her notebook to a specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monika begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around. Everyone has their eyes on Monika. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I do not understand. Finally, Monica finishes her recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica, says Sayori. Thank you very much, answers Monica. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next, says Yuri. Ooh-wah, says Sayori. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her hat down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri, says Sayori. It is called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the swirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save the situation, I say. I am the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud her, but we were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applauded, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good, says Monica. Thanks for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, says Sayori. I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one is called My Meadow. Ahaha. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought, she says. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting to yourself, like in front of a mirror, or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see, says Sayori. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow, it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. This poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it, she says. Good job, Sayori. Even Showy liked it, she says. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? I always like your poems. You're treating me like a horrible beast. It came out nicely, Sayori, says Monica. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand, she says. In other words, says Monica, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean, she says. That's I've been practicing like that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. Hehehehe. Then next time, I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay, she says. Now, who's next? Natsuki? Says Natsuki. Don't make me go before Showy. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Showy lower everyone's standards a little before. Oh, she's so mean to me. There's no need for that. That is completely unnecessary. Natsuki, says Sayori. It's fine, I say. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to wear what I brought today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry I'm not really as good as everyone else, I say. Don't worry about it so much, says Monica. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that improves over time though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then, says Monica. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... It's called... What are you all guys looking at me? Because you're presenting, says Monica. Ugh. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little enthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken out loud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She hops back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Says Monica. Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me do that again, says Natsuki. Oh well. Do you at least feel prepared enough to recite the poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. Really? How does that work? I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just for my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki, says Sayori. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, says Monica, you won't have to worry about the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez, say I. I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too, says Monica. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me feel really happy. Yeah, no problem, I say. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today, says Monica. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday is the big day. I can't wait, says Sayori. I can do this, says Yuri, while she rocks back and forth. Alright, I say. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. It's for the sake of the club. And impressing Monica. Then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? I say. Yup. Look at you two, always going home together like that, says Natsuki. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Says Monica. Ihihihi, says Sayori. Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice though, says Yuri. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Showy. You don't have to say it. Wait. What does she think I was going to say? Whatever, let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's always been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori's been a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori, I say. Sorry, I was spacing out. No wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier, she says. Like, how we get to... I mean... Sayori fumbles with her words. So, let's just say that one day, Yuri asked to walk home with you. What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Ihihihi, says Sayori. I would walk with Yuri. What does she thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart, says Sayori. That has nothing to do with what I just said. Yeah, you admit it, says Sayori. Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen. Well, maybe, says Sayori. But I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know? What do you mean? Need you? Sayori, I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry, she says. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. The conversation trails off, and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't say I lied to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Okay, it's time to write another poem, but I think I have had enough of this game for now. I will finish it playing in another video. Thank you for watching and see you next time. I'm gonna rewrite this though. There you go. Goodbye.